Take a good look at the BYD Yuan Up. If the Atto 3 was the car that put BYD on the global map, the Yuan Up is the car designed to dominate the city streets. At first glance, you notice it's not trying too hard to be futuristic. Instead, it leans into a rugged, confident urban aesthetic. Notice the dragon face, design language, it's evolved. The lines are cleaner, and that light green hue gives it a fresh, eco-conscious vibe without being loud. This angle shows off the balance between the high hood line and the sloping roof, giving it a stance that's surprisingly SUV for such a compact footprint. What's clever here is the cladding. Look at the lower doors and the wheel arches. It's practical for city life. Door dings and high curbs won't be as much of a headache. But it's also a design trick. The black trim makes the body look leaner and more athletic. The Yuan Up sits on the E-Platform 3.0, and from this 3/4 view, you can see how the wheels are pushed right to the corners. That's the secret to its interior space. It's an entry-level EV, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like a calculated, stylish choice for someone who wants tech without the bulk. As we move around the car, we'll see how these details play out, but for a first impression, the Yuan Up is punching well above its weight class. The face of the dragon. Visual focus. Image 1,161,628.jpg. Host. Every car has a face, and the Yuan Up's expression is one of focused minimalism. Looking at it head-on, the first thing that grabs you is the horizontal trim piece connecting the LED headlights. It's sleek, it's modern, and it houses the updated Yuan logo. The headlights themselves are thin and aggressive, featuring twin-beam LED tech. Below that, you'll notice the lack of a traditional grille, a hallmark of its electric DNA, but BYD hasn't left it as a flat, boring slab of plastic. There's subtle surfacing here that directs airflow for cooling the battery and improving aerodynamics. Take a look at the lower bumper. Those vertical air curtains on the sides aren't just for show, they help channel air around the front wheels to reduce drag. And the center intake has this interesting ribbed texture that mirrors the design we'll see in the interior later. From this angle, you can also see the width of the car. It has a planted, stable look. There's no unnecessary chrome here, everything is integrated. It's a very digital face. It tells you exactly what this car is, a high-tech, efficient tool for the modern driver. It's approachable, but it has enough edge to stand out in a crowded parking lot. If you're looking for a car that looks like the future without looking like a science project, this is it. The departure rear view. Host. They say you spend most of your time looking at the back of the car in front of you, and if that car is the Yuan Up, you've got a pretty good view. The rear design is dominated by this full-width LED light bar. It's a signature BYD move, but here it's executed with a loop design that adds a lot of visual depth when the lights are on. Above the window, there's a sporty integrated spoiler. It's not just for looks, it helps break the airflow off the roof to keep the rear glass cleaner and improve your highway range. But look lower, that's where the Up gets its rugged credentials. The rear bumper is massive. It's finished in that same tough black cladding we saw on the sides, but it features a silver finish faux skid plate. It gives the car a lifted look, emphasizing that 150 mm of ground clearance. It's a reminder that while this is a city car, it's not afraid of a dirt road or a gravel path to a weekend trailhead. The Build Your Dreams lettering has been simplified to just BYD on the newer models, which cleans up the tailgate significantly. Overall, the rear of the Yuan Up is all about width and stability. It looks chunky, safe, and modern. It finishes the design story that the front started. It's a compact SUV that refuses to feel small. The silhouette side profile. Host. The side profile is where you truly understand the packaging of the Yuan Up. It's roughly 4.3 meters long, placing it squarely in the compact SUV segment, but look at that wheelbase. Because it's a dedicated EV platform, the wheels are pushed out, maximizing the cabin space in between. The design team used a floating roof effect here. By blacking out the B and C pillars, the roof appears to hover over the body. It's a styling trick that makes the car look lower and longer than it actually is. And then there are the semi-hidden door handles. They sit flush to improve airflow but are still mechanical enough to feel substantial when you grab them. Check out these 16 or 17-inch alloy wheels. They have a closed-off, aerodynamic design to help squeeze every last kilometer out of the blade battery. The interplay between the light green paint and the dark lower cladding creates a high contrast look that highlights the car's up stance. Notice the subtle character line that starts at the front fender and sweeps upward toward the rear. It gives the car a sense of motion even when it's standing still. This profile is all about efficiency and urban agility. It's easy to park, easy to maneuver, but the high roofline promises that you won't be hitting your head inside. It's a masterclass in small on the outside, big on the inside engineering. The command center dashboard. Host. Step inside, and the yuan up immediately feels like a more expensive car. The first thing that hits you isn't just the tech, it's the symmetry. The dashboard has a clean, horizontal flow that makes the cabin feel wide and airy. Of course, we have to talk about the party piece, the 12.8-inch D-Link touchscreen. Like most modern BYDs, it rotates 90 degrees. Want your navigation in portrait mode like a phone? You got it. Want to watch a video while charging in landscape? No problem. It's powered by a Snapdragon chip, so the response time is tablet smooth. Behind the steering wheel, you've got an 8.8-inch driver's display. It's clear, high-res, and gives you all the vital stats without clutter. But I love that BYD didn't go full Tesla. Look at the steering wheel, you still have physical buttons for your cruise control and audio. There's a tactile feel here that's missing from many competitors. The center console is elevated, creating a cockpit-like feel. You've got a crystal-style gear selector and a wireless charging pad. The materials are a mix of soft touch surfaces and textured plastics that feel durable. It's a space that feels tech-forward, but remains incredibly user-friendly. It doesn't ask you to relearn how to drive, it just makes the experience feel more sophisticated. The Sanctuary full interior. Host. Finally, let's talk about the vibe of this cabin. When you open the doors, you're greeted by a light, two-tone interior that feels incredibly premium for this segment. These seats are the stars of the show. BYD calls this the dragon scale pattern. Not only does it look cool, but the perforation actually helps with breathability on long drives. Space is the big surprise here. Look at the legroom in the back. Because the floor is completely flat, thanks again to that E-Platform 3.0, you can actually fit 3 adults across the rear bench without a hump in the middle. Then, look up. That massive panoramic sunroof floods the cabin with natural light. It makes the yuan up feel twice as large as it is. It's an active interior, meaning it's designed for people who actually use their cars. There are deep door pockets, plenty of USB ports, and ISO-FIX points that are easy to reach. The up in the name starts to make sense when you sit here. It feels like an upgrade over what you'd expect from a budget-friendly EV. Whether you're the driver or a passenger in the back, you're surrounded by thoughtful design and quality materials. It's a sanctuary from the chaos of city traffic, and honestly, it's a place you wouldn't mind spending a couple of hours in a traffic jam. The yuan up isn't just a car, it's a mobile lounge.